Hi, Alfie and Henry with the Houston chapter. I see your precious Nicole with you. How are y'all?
Good. How are
Excellent. Thank you,
you? It's good to
Melissa.
see you, Melissa.
Well, good. Well, tell us all a little bit about Nicole.
Well, I'll start off. Nicole was our little miracle child. She just came into the world. We didn't think we could have children naturally, but she was beautiful from the very beginning. She loved her older sister and she loved playing animal family with her stuffed animals, and she was very bright. She would want to keep up with her sister, whatever her sister was working on for homework. She would want her own homework, and we hardly ever had time to teach her because we were always teaching the older one, but she would keep up with her. And we didn't even have to teach her how to read. She taught herself.
Wow.
Very bright.
Wow. Well, how did y'all know something was wrong?
So for a while, she was having issues with her with sinusitis, and then she was put on antibiotics, and she had one bout of vomiting, which I thought was somewhat unusual. And so I'm a radiologist by trade, and so I told Althea, why don't you send her to the MRI? And just the better part of valor, just for peace of mind, and just make sure that there isn't anything going on. And my tech gave me a call back and said, Dr. Lee, your daughter has hydrocephalus. And during this time, I thought, oh no, she's got a congenital disorder with, she'll need a long-term shunt. And I was just beside myself on the way over to the hospital. And I sit down in the MRI console. And of course, the biggest tumor in the pons that I've seen.
Wow.
And basically, that was a death sentence. I knew right away that she was going to die. And so I don't even remember, to tell you quite honestly, how I came back home, and I had to break the news to Althea that our precious little Nicole is most likely will have just about a year or so to live. And of course, she didn't really believe me. She almost laughed in my face, but that was the reality of it. So we kind of caught the disease probably a little bit earlier than probably most kids will be diagnosed.
Right.
Just because of the access to the MRI and so forth. But so she was able to survive 18 months altogether. And a lot of it was relatively symptom-free. She didn't really develop a lot of the cranial neuropathies and so forth until a little bit later in her course. But so from that standpoint, we felt like we had a little bit of time with her. So.
Well, you being in the research world, the medical field, a radiologist, you were able to go to this symposium. What were some takeaways for you?
Well, back in 2007, when Nicole was diagnosed, really, I really wasn't interested in a lot of various different protocols and so forth, just because there just wasn't anything proven to really change any kind of life expectancy or anything like that. But this past symposium, aside from the fact that there's been really a lot of breakthroughs as far as our understanding of the disease process and tumor genesis and the mechanisms and so forth of how the tumor comes about. Even despite all that, I think that the proof was actually in the pudding, because we had a couple of people that were in various different chapters and really describe how their kids were surviving 16 months, basically with minimal amounts of steroids, or 30 months. That in and of itself was more than anything else, just a difference that that the CureStars now has made. And that's not even counting, like, for instance, the registry, which was not in existence, and the ability for the researchers to be able to collaborate and to and really pull this the same way, and I think that really, to me, the most poignant thing to me was really the fact that, these, the chapters kids were living longer. So,
And you can kind of see a change from when she battled to now.
yes.
Um,
As far as the hope, as far as there's maybe the cure is just around the corner.
right.
Whereas I think for us, I think when Nicole was diagnosed, we were pretty much defeated, and it was more of an issue of really wanting the most like the best quality of life for her without having without her suffering as little as possible.
Well, Althea, is there any like special memory you want to share with Nicole or anything funny about her?
Yeah, what's interesting is I named Nicole before I even knew what it meant. And I found out that it meant victory for the people.
Oh, wow.
I thought, wow, that's a lot to live up to before I knew her diagnosis. And when she was 6, she said she wanted to be a teacher. And in hindsight, her life is teaching us how to be giving. It's reminding us to give to research and to the families who are battling DIPG today and tomorrow. So we're grateful for that.
No, it's beautiful. And I'm so glad that you are a part of the Texas chapters and a part of the Cure Starts Now, because we consider you all family. And I'm just glad that y'all are my friends. And for everything that you do. And we can always ask Henry any of the medical questions, like, is this the right direction? And he can try to help.
That's something that I also picked up from the symposium, is that, we are DIPG families and families fight together. So
yes. Well, thank you both, and for keeping Nicole present in front of all of us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.